So my first car, I really wanted a Jeep. I'm a Jeep girl. I have a Jeep now. So I got this Jeep Liberty, and I got in 6 car accidents my first year of driving. All my fault.
Yeah, so my first truck, I got it when I was 15 years old. And when I turned 16, me and a bunch of buddies went out to this field in Hendersonville. It was raining that night, and we were cruising down this field and kind of slamming on our brakes and doing like donuts. And I remember while I was spinning, my back 2 tires ping-ponged against this manhole that was sticking up this far out of the ground. And when I drove back to my house, my back 2 tires were riding like this the whole way back. So I had to work, for 2 straight years to help pay for my axle to get fixed.
My first vehicle was an old step-side Dodge. I think it was those like little Red Express trucks they had. And then the other thing I drove was a Dodge Dynasty, or also known as a Dynasty. The ceiling was coming in, the mufflers wore out, so you could hear me coming about 5 miles away. But that thing, man, you could take those curves.
It sounded like a lawnmower.
It did.
Yeah, a truck I drove in high school. I named it Squeaky Rafiki because the ball joints were just busted. There was no grease in it, so literally it's everywhere I drove. You could hear me coming from a mile away.
My first car was a Pathfinder, like a 1995 Pathfinder, but my uncle painted it, so it was like highlighter yellow and like black on the side, so you could see this thing coming for like miles.
It was a Jeep Grand Cherokee. It was my first car, and I blew it up. Just driving the absolute hell out of it.
Yeah, I was driving down the freeway, and I heard a noise, and I said out loud to myself, I said, hope that wasn't my car. And about 10 seconds later, gas pedal went all the way to the floor, and nothing would work. The shifter wouldn't work, anything, so I quickly got over off the exit, stopped, and so I was gathering my thoughts, and this van rolled up real slow, and the dude looked out the window and he goes, "Hey man, your car's on fire." Like this flame. And then I remembered I was selling Cutco knives at the time, and I went, "Oh, my knives! I spent like $100 on those knives." So I ran across the street. They're like, "Man, you can't go back in there." So I reached in through the flames and grabbed my knives, and I ran across the street like I thought the car was gonna explode. But it didn't. It just burned out. When it was done, there were 2 tires, a trunk, and nothing.
Want to know the first wheels Brett Young, Chris Jansen, Cody Johnson, and more stars had? To find out, speed on over to CMT.com or download the CMT app.